Everybody, welcome back. As you can see, this box doesn't even fit the frame. It is huge. Of course, you can probably guess where this box came from. For those of you that have tuned in to some of my previous unboxings on things found on Proxibid. Of course, previously I had gotten that Polytech M14S, very nice rifle, from this same place, located, well, actually on Proxibid as well. And I happened to see some other cool things that they had listed. Of course, this is just a flyer that I got from them. We're going to shove that out of the way. But what's in the box? So, as I've told you guys in the past, it's always very hard to get your hands on virtually any parts kits with intact barrels. It's very hard to find them. It's always a pain in the tail. But this particular auction, I think it took place in September, had on there, they had some really cool items. They had a whole bunch of the, I think, model MD63s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Romanian, very similar to the Romy G kits. They had some of those kits. They had a whole bunch of parts kits. They even had some Sterling parts kits. So what we're going to look at today is 2 Romanian MD63 kits. I'll correct myself when I edit this video if I got that wrong, as well as a Sterling parts kit. Now, I've wanted a Sterling parts kit for quite some time. Of course, if you guys are huge Star Wars fans, you'll know that they took those Sterlings and they made the Clone Trooper blasters out of them. Really cool pieces of history. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive off into this. Now, one thing you're going to notice, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat, we're going to get it out of the way. The cost of those Romanian MD63 kits with an intact original barrel were $340 and $390 respectively. No, that does not count the buyer's premium. Why did I not mention the buyer's premium? Because it varies from every single Proxibid auction to auction. It's always different. Every auction house does it differently. You also have fees, whether you pay in cash, whether you pay with card, what have you. It just all depends. So I'm not going to bother mentioning that. I'm just going to tell you the base price, which was $340 and $390 respectively for those MD63 kits. And then there's also the Sterling kit in here, which was $450. Now, why did I spend that much for a Sterling kit, you say, when you can get one much cheaper through Apex at about $425? Well, it has an intact barrel. The ones through Apex do not come with a barrel. And depending on the configuration, don't come with the trigger guard. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. Let's dive off into the box and let's see what I got. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Whoever's estate that they had auctioned off, that had all these MD63 kits, they had a lot. When I say a lot, I mean they had at least probably 8 to 10 MD63 kits. Some of them look much better than others. Just going to be honest with you. So I opted for the ones that, you know, weren't quite as nice, that I thought I could get a little more cheaply, a little more economically. So that's what I went for. Really don't know what to expect with this. Wow, it's just kind of okay. Trying to get all this wrapping out of here so I can economically get this out of the box without knocking everything over. And there is apparently a box in the very bottom, which is probably that Sterling kit. And it's very tight. Is that thing even coming out? No, it's not. Well, we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, so maybe the Sterling kit's going to be another day. I don't know. You can see the lot numbers from the auction on here. I know there was a little bit of rust on these 2 kits in particular, but I don't think it was anything terrible, especially if you're going to rebuild one yourself. It's just to be expected. They wrapped them very, very well. Of course, these are the ones with the... I'm actually quite impressed with how they did this. I mean, this is really nice compared to some of the ones. I'm going to get this kit out of the way for the moment while we look at this one. All right. really quite nice. I did not expect them to do that at all, and they didn't have to. But it's just a nice little touch. You guys are probably like, well, yeah, you should get something nice for all the packing you pay for. But, you know, quite honestly, what's a kit worth if they don't pack it very well and you lose everything in transit? Believe it or not, I have gotten some boxes of parts before where the boxes just tore all to pieces. Okay, I said MD63. This is actually a Romy G kit. They were advertised on the auction as MD63s. Man, this thing's nice. Let's see if I can get the rest of this out without too much heartburn. Well, I guess that's just going to tear. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that's taped. One thing's for certain, Century Auctions, or Centurion Auctions, they definitely package things well. Quite well. Now what's cool is they actually included some 20 round mags with these. By the way, YouTube, 20. Well below the maximum limit. And let's see, let's get the rest of this out. Where to start? Bolt carrier. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, you usually don't see Romanian G kits like this anymore. Now, unlike the one that I had previously gotten from J&G, you guys can tell this is likely from the original kit, as it is all torch cut. Like I said, I opted for one of the ones that wasn't quite as nice. Okay, so I do believe this is a matching parts kit. That Bakelite grip is in very good shape. It is the inverted checkering, just like you would expect to find. A few small little nicks and dings here, which can be smoothed out and refinished over, but it looks good. Now, I do believe this is an all matching parts kit. We will find that out shortly. Okay, so we're gonna go. It's got SN-Bravo, Sierra-Bravo November 3934. So 3934, 3934 on the recoil spring, 3934 on the carrier, which looks gorgeous by the way, and I don't believe it has any peening on it. That way you guys can see that. 3934 on the bolt, which appears as though it has never been fired. Firing pin's intact. It's not moving much because there's cosmoline in there. 934 on the selector. Let's see what else we got. None of these parts were serialized. There's a little bit of a chip right here, but it's not too big of a deal. I'll just show you guys the stock. Heavily shellacked, but totally usable. Likely get refinished maybe. I'm not really sure. Slight chip out of that there. Not the end of the world. I wonder if... Nope. There is no parts kit in there. I bet they probably separated that out for the auction. But as you can see, you guys can see the age here a lot of that is coming off. It's flaking off. So it would behoove me to probably sand this down and re-clear coat it. But once again, if you look, 3934, now this is a 1986 kit, and I do believe, there it is, 3934 on the rear sight. That's awesome. This is an all matching parts kit. The only thing left for me to check, and I don't know if the Romanians, I don't remember off the top of my head. Wow, that does not fit in there. That's weird. Huh. Oh, there it is. I don't know if the Romanians actually serialized their gas tubes, but we're about to find out. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. Yes, they did. 3934. You guys can see the condition. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even show you the front half, which looks phenomenal. It's just been packed away for many, many years. That is a chrome line barrel, and I do believe the Romanians did these with chrome line cold hammer forged barrels, which is a huge plus. Now you do see there is a little bit of rust out here, just on the end, and I think some of that is actually dirt and something. But all in all, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous kit. Let's check the bore. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, guys. I mean, this is like one of those untouched kits, like one of the really nice ones that they would have cut up back in the day and then just shipped them over. You don't see these very often. I mean, you really don't. I guess I can check the small parts bag. I can't remember if these came, yeah, okay. So whoever, okay, so I don't know the history behind it. So this is a double hook Tapco G2. In case you guys are curious, I don't know if the original owner decided to separate out, you know, like the original fire control group components just to be safe should they ever get visited. But you can see those are the Tapco G2 components, which are really nice, actually, really nice triggers for the Romys. Get that in there. And there's your pistol grip screw, all that fun stuff. I mean, honestly, guys, I can't complain. That reminds me of a Hungarian mag. It's got an M inside of a circle, so I'm not sure what that means. If you guys know a lot about AK mags, let me know. But just a 20 round mag that they threw in there with it. I don't know if that's how it came. But yeah, that's a pretty stinking nice kit. The only blemish I see is back here. Oh, that's just some dried cosmoline or something. It just wiped right off, as you can see. But man, this thing is in gorgeous shape. That is a nice, nice kit. Like I said, well, you guys go back to the beginning, reference the price. I'm really impressed with that. That is all numbers matching, every bit of it. Yes, I know, the hammer doesn't match. It's a Tapco. Anyway, let's put all that aside. Let's grab the other kit. Now I'm hoping with the reversal of the dual sporting use barrel ban that I'm really hoping we're going to start to see more of these kits come back into the country. Only time will tell, to be honest, guys, because I would love to return to the days where we can get kits like this back into the country. You know, that was the heyday of kits. We just didn't realize it at the time, unfortunately. I wish I had realized it back then, to be honest. But you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Oh, they take this one up good. So this is that second kit. I'm assuming both of these are actually Romy G's. And for you guys that know a lot more about AKs, you're probably going to roast me in the comments, and that's fine. I'm not an expert, just a collector, amateur at that. Once again, Another 20 round mag. Just standard Parkerized finish. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but in good shape. These are other fire control group components. Let's separate that over here. We'll look at those a little more closely in just a second. Let me get this barrel assembly out of here. Here's something rattling in here. I'm not really sure why. Ah, it's my pistol grip. That's what's rattling. So like I said, I thought one of these had some rust on it. Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe I just got it wrong in the pictures. Let's get this last one, maybe. Okay, let's get the rest of this. It's like Christmas morning here. Really cool. Really cool to see old kits like this, because you just don't see them anymore. Let's see. So this looks good. Once again, looks like the day that it was demilled, just in storage for a long time. Once again, no no cleaning kit. Like I said, I believe that was taken out most likely so that they can maximize their profit on the auction and do what they do best. Alright, so we're going to start, let's see, let's start with the top cover. It is another SB00835. Once again, rib, looks like it's in great shape, nothing wrong there. 0835 on your recoil spring. The bolt, SB00835, appears to have been unfired. Safety selector, 835, once again. Bolt carrier, Sierra Bravo 0, well that's not a 0, I guess that's a 00835. I mean, this thing, guys, this thing looks like it has never been used. Now granted, the machining's a little more crude, it's Romanian, that's okay. Let's see, so that's all those serialized parts. Does the front match? 1986 SB00835. Now they did dent this some when they destroyed it, but it looks like that trunnion is completely fine. Does the rear sight match? SB00835. Yes, it does. And the last thing to check, focusing is terrible, my apologies, SB00835. Guys, this thing is, once again, beautiful. Well worth the money of what I paid. You guys can disagree with me all day long if you want, I don't care. Everybody's got their own opinion. You know, I love stuff like this. As you can see here, this thing is still full of cosmoline down in there. Let's check the bore. Absolutely gorgeous. I have zero complaints, guys, on these kits. Now, being the fact that they use that, you know, really old shellac on there, or well, just the kits themselves are quite old, but the fact that, you know, the shellac is on there, you know, I'm not concerned about that. That's not fitting well. That's weird. Oh, I messed up. I didn't get that down on there good. Oh, that's interesting. For whatever reason, there we go. I didn't have it all the way down. I thought that wasn't going down at first. But anyway, guys, for the money, you know, even with the buyer's premium, let's say you have a 22% buyer's premium on top of, you know, $340, you're still making out like a bandit on one of these kits to get the original cold hammer forged chrome line barrel. Oh, I didn't even look at the grip. Sorry about that. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's a really nice grip. It's got some nice darkness to it. It's a good looking grip. A little rough. I'll do some really fine sanding. Man, that's nice. That's cool. But guys, honestly, for the money, I mean, really, you cannot get a cool piece of history like this. I mean, tell me where you can find it cheaper. I challenge anybody. Tell me where you can find an original Romanian G kit with the original intact barrel, all numbers matching, in this nice a shape. For, you know, 350 bucks. Heck, let's go a step further. Let's say, you know, 25% buyer's premium, you know, whatever. Let's say it was 450 bucks. You still couldn't touch it for this. Now, I get it. Yes, I paid tax. I also paid shipping, things like that. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, you got two beautiful Romanian G kits for a great price with the original intact barrels, unmolested, other than the fact they're torch cut. Of course, what's really cool is these are two 1986 ones. And I mean, they had at least 8 to 10 of these. And I just went after 2 of them. I'm thinking, okay, well, those look like a little bit worse for wear. I'm going to go for those. I'm not going to go for the ones that look absolutely perfect, because that's what everybody else is going to go for. So I went for the ones that I thought I could get at a little bit of a bargain. Oh, and like I said, with the other one, there's another Tapco double hook G2 trigger assembly, or FCG, whatever you want to call it. But guys, this is a great deal. Now, can you go out and just buy these? No, but I'm telling you, keep an eye out on Proxibid. You never know what's going to come across. I try to get a Lungman AG42, and those things got priced into the stratosphere. I couldn't get my hands on one. That's one of the ones I would like to get, by the way. Along with a Hakim, possibly, just to go along with my Rashid. But anyway, I think they also had a Rashid on the same auction, which went cheaper than what I paid for mine. But anyway, whoever this person was that they auctioned all this stuff off had a ton of AK kits. So my guess is you've got collectors out there that are just sitting on AK kits. They bought them up cheap and they just stored them away. Either they were going to build them, or they weren't going to build them, or they just wanted it for an investment reason. And even at $340 and $390, that's still a great deal, especially by today's terms. And yes, I fully intend on, you know, one day building these into some very nice rifles. I might actually get rid of some of my other Romanian kits that aren't quite as nice, but you know, we'll see. Just gotta make my mind up. Just wanted to share this with you guys today. In the next video, one of the next videos, you're probably going to see the Sterling kit, because this has already ran over 20 minutes. And yeah, that's a long time. So anyway, I'll do that in another video, show you guys the Sterling kit that I got. Like I said, go look for stuff like this. You never know what you're going to find, especially on places like Proxibid. Of course, as always, guys, I am by no means sponsored or endorsed by anyone. I am fully self-funded, and whatever small amount of cash flow that comes in from YouTube, which is better than nothing, believe me. You know, just want to kind of share this crazy passion of mine with you guys, and keep a check out on Proxibid. You never know what you're going to find. Like these 2 kits, just 2 of like 10 or 12 or however many they had. I don't even remember now. But as you can see, they're in great shape. They were just packed away and never built. But big shout out to my subscribers. Thank you guys, as always, for your likes, your shares, your comments. And if you haven't considered subscribing in the past, please consider it. Greatly helps out the channel. I'm, of course, quite small, and I'm just trying to make my way in this crazy YouTube world. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, you guys have a great day.